just moments after the sunset, you emerged into the warm water and into my arms.
Wow.
25. Oh. Yes.
Click that red juicy button down below. It says subscribe.
It says subscribe.
Hi everyone, welcome to Legacy Birth. My name is Legacy Long, the natural birth queen, and today we have a special guest on Legacy Birth today. Her name is Charmaine.ironside. Do you have big muscles? Because your last name is your last name actually Ironside?
It is. I do.
Wow.
I'm into fitness and strength training, so it was my legacy or my destiny to do something with exercise, I think.
Wow. And you looked amazing also in your birth. Your tummy looks so full and healthy. So were you also eating healthy and being active during your pregnancy?
Yeah. I kind of shifted during my first pregnancy. About halfway through, I started treating my body with more love, with how I was talking to it and feeding it. And I have this thought, I'm sure lots of pregnant women do, but whatever I was eating, the baby was getting too. So I wanted to give them the best start at life. So that kind of inspired me to stay healthy. I was very voluminous, but I felt I felt good. So that's all that matters.
You looked good, and baby Emmett looked so cute when he was born. Whereabouts are you from?
I am up in Canada.
I'm in Canada too!
You're on Toronto, right?
Yes! I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, so in Alberta and Calgary, just that's been my home my whole life. So
for all the queens watching, how many children do you have?
Yeah, so I've got two. Kennedy just turned 6, and then Emmett is 2.5.
Awesome. So did you have a home birth for Kennedy as well?
No, actually, I was deemed higher risk because in 2009 I actually had a big accident and almost was paralyzed and burst a vertebrae in my back and was in the hospital for a month. And so they recommended that I would have a high risk kind of doctor follow me. And so I was like, okay, but so I had the baby in the hospital.
Okay.
It was actually interesting part of the story was it was recommended that I just had a C-section, and that just did not resonate for me. And I went and got some second opinions, and the second and third opinions were like, you might as well, if you're passionate about natural childbirth, there's no reason why you can't at least try.
Yeah.
So that resonated, and I thought, I think my body can do it. And I saw videos of like women that were paraplegics, and they delivered naturally, and their body just knew what to do. So I thought, well, that's pretty cool. So I think our bodies, we don't always give them enough credit.
Yes. I love that you said that. We are so far more capable than we give ourselves credit for. So was that one of the reasons why you decided to have a home birth?
Yeah, definitely. And I actually was very blessed. I had a midwife who was just doing a rotation in the hospital for part of her schooling, and she ended up being in the room, and she ended up delivering my daughter, and my first. And it was just amazing because I really wanted a midwife in the first place, but because I was high risk, they said I had to be followed by, OBGYN. And I respect all the different ways of giving birth, and I found it was quite disempowering at first. When I got to the hospital, I was kind of told by one of the doctors, like, oh, if you're not dilated to this amount by this time, we're going to break your water. And I was like, this does not feel good. This is not how I imagined it. And I remember I told my husband, like, I don't want to see that doctor again. Like, I do not want to do birth like this in a rushed way.
Yeah.
And so long story short, I ended up getting this other doctor who had this midwife kind of following her. And it ended up turning out really well. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
crazy because it's almost like everything happens for a reason. Like, what are the odds of that you get one that has a midwife like with them? I feel like
Yeah.
everything
I
happens
know, I
for
have
a reason.
goosebumps. It was, and then she ended up being the midwife for my home birth.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very cool.
Wow. So was she reluctant at all when she knew about your previous high risk pregnancy, or what was that journey like getting to a home birth with her?
Yeah, no, I mean, she sort of advocated for me in the hospital because my dream was to give birth on all fours. I don't know why. I just thought I read some things about how the gravity would help. And I
Yes.
remember when the doctor said, okay, it's time to go on your back and start pushing or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, like I really wanted to be on all fours. And I didn't have my voice was I wasn't very strong with my voice. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll go on my back. But the midwife was like, oh, her birth wishes said like she wants to stay on all fours.
Wow.
And she advocated for that. And the doctor kind of was like, okay, like kind of rolled their eyes, but was like, whatever, this crazy mom wants to be on all fours. So long story short.
Smart mom. Smart mom.
Yeah, well, I think they might have thought I was a bit crazy.
Right?
But yeah, I gave birth on all fours. It was like so easy. And my daughter just came out. That was very cool. And then I knew I'm doing it at home. Like that just resonated for me. Yeah, the midwife, I mean, there was no reason why I couldn't, especially being able to do it, no meds, nothing, like natural in the hospital. So that gave me a lot of confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Click that red juicy button down
below.
It says subscribe.
It says subscribe. Awesome.
In your home birth, I seen there was a lot of affirmations, and I really, really liked that. I wanted to know which one was your favorite.
Yeah, my favorite is like the idea, like for me, of like breathing the baby out. I did quite a bit of hypnobirthing, like meditations before I had him because I wanted to have this calm, empowered birth. And a big thing was like, it's not a contraction. It's, I'm sure you talk about, yeah, a surge.
Or a wave.
Yeah, it's a wave. So, and I'm like, okay, instead of pushing the baby out, it's like breathe the baby out. So that one really resonated. And I did have some fear, like, as you know, I had a few miscarriages before, one before my daughter and then 3 before my son. So I had some fears about like pregnancy loss, like a cord, I don't know, whatever the mom fears could be, but like, what if something's wrong? So I just kept saying, it is well, it's all happening perfectly. And just every time my mind went to fear, I pulled it back. I'm like, my body knows what to do. And so I actually had a whole you can see it in my birth video that you shared, but I had a big string of different affirmations that I kept looking up at.
Wow, I really, really like that. And one of my favorite things that you said in your birth video was when you were talking about your experience with miscarriage, and you were saying it made sense to me that a baby wouldn't want to live in a place that was stressful. And so I really slowed down.
It made sense to me that a little person would not want to grow in a stressful environment. And I wanted you more than words can describe. So I majorly slowed down. I created the most hospitable, calm, and healthy environment for you to grow.
Every single time you said that, it really, really resonated with me. And I really love that you said that because it's so, so true how we're so connected to our babies and how being calm and relaxed really affects their growth. And so that one was my favorite. If you were to give birth again, would you do anything differently?
Oh my gosh. Well, truthfully, I mean, I've watched your birth of your third. Yeah. And I was just like, I was crying. I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. And I think what I would do differently is just like trust my body even more and like not feel like I had to have like someone there. Like the idea of like being so, I mean, I like the idea of having some support and everything, but being able to like trust my body could do it on its own. I love that. I actually wanted to catch, I don't know if you call it catch
Yes.
sun. And maybe it was just not enough visualization, but I wasn't quite there. Like maybe I would have,
Okay.
I think I would have been able to if there was no one around, but the midwife ended up like grabbing him out of the water because I was kind of like a little bit spaced out. So, but I do think with more breath practice and mindfulness, like I would be able to do it even with more ease and be more aware and pull the baby out of the water myself. I think that would just be so cool. And so
Yeah.
so empowering. It was still empowering, even though they supported me to get the baby out. But I'd love to be able to do that myself.
Wow. Well, when I was watching your video, that was the answer that I thought you were going to say. I was like, I just have this feeling that if she were to do it again, she'd want to catch her own baby. I was just, and I can just see you'd be able to do it. No problem.
Yeah,
I
totally.
think,
I think birth is like the most special thing on earth. It's so cool.
Aww.
I know some people, I tell them my story and they're like, what? Like stress had something to do with your miscarriages? And I'm like, yeah, huge. Like a baby wants to grow in like a calm, happy home, not like this chaotic hormonal disaster. And so, yeah, my doctor literally prescribed me meditation to get my hormones more under control and like my adrenal glands and everything in a better flow. And I think some women might underestimate that power of slowing down and taking care of your body so that it's a good host for a baby. So I just wanted to mention that.
I really, really love that you said that. I'm pregnant now. So even you saying that,
Four?
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 4.
Exciting.
Yeah. So even you saying that is just a beautiful reminder. I really love that you said that. And I hope that someone watching also resonates with it as well. All right. Thank you, Charmaine. Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, well, on Facebook, you can Google Forever Light with Charmaine.ironside. And on Instagram, just my name, Charmaine.ironside. And yeah, always happy to share around having a healthy, fit, empowered birth. So thank you so much for going to spread such a special message.
You're welcome. And thank you for being here.
Thanks, Legacy.
Bye, Charmaine. Bye.
Oh my gosh, do you want to redo that?
What? Oh, sure. We can do it again. What did you want to do again?
Only if you want to. That was really bad.
Which one? The red juicy button?
Click the red.
Okay. So
we can. We don't have
how about I say one line and then you say the next one? I think it'll be easier. Yeah.
Which one do I say?
Okay, so click that red juicy button and then you can say down below, and then I can say it says subscribe, and then you can say it says subscribe.
Okay, let's do it. That'll be better.
Okay. Ready? Click that red juicy button down
below.
It says subscribe.
It says subscribe.
Woo!
Awesome.